Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about the cooling system on the Riley. Here we go. This is a Thermosyphon system. So you have the radiator, you have the engine and the engine block, and you have a top hose and a bottom hose. There is no pump, and as you can see on this one, there is no fan. Let me get a bit of light in there. So although there is facility for a fan, this car has never ever had a fan on it at all. So idea is that the engine warms up, the hot water rises, goes through the top hose to the top of the radiator, cools as it falls down the radiator, and then the cold water comes out the bottom of the radiator into the bottom of the block through the angled pipe at the bottom there, and the process repeats itself. And as long as you don't put too much power through it, as long as you've got water in the radiator, everything should be perfectly fine. Okay, so you might notice there's a pipe that comes from the bottom of the header tank there and runs down the side and under the bottom hose and out of the bottom of the car. That's the overflow. So if it gets filled up too much, water will come out of that pipe. There is also, you can see, I think just down there on the other side is the drain pipe, the drain tap. That's for draining. The dynamo goes through the middle of the radiator at the bottom, and there is a link pipe inside the radiator between the left and the right hand side, so that water will come out of the left side over to the right side, siphon over to the right side, and be drained out the drain tap. Okay, the radiator is filled with water and blue cod U. Just ordinary straightforward antifreeze. I guess you could use any kind of antifreeze as long as you drained it out properly. You don't mix antifreeze types, so the blue and the red or orange, you do not mix them up. So as long as they're all clear and completely washed out, you can put, I guess, whatever antifreeze in you want. I use blue cod U, always have. And it lasts a couple of years, and change it every year or so. Flush out the system. You can see there are some green and grey flecks in there, so that needs flushing out, or has been flushed out recently. At the back there is the drain, so the hole in the top of that is where that pipe goes to. So if the water fills up to the level, it will flow over the top and down that hole. And of course what happens is, as you're driving along, the water expands as it gets hot, and in some cases it will boil inside the engine block, and you get bubbles of air coming up the top radiator hose and bubbling up into this top header tank here, and bubbling up over the top and down the overflow pipe. This is normal. This is kind of about the right level, the normal running level. You can fill it up more. If you fill it up more when the engine gets hot and you get those bubbles in it and the expansion, it will dribble out of the overflow. That's quite normal. It should settle down at around about this level, maybe a bit lower if you leave it for a long time, but it just needs topping up occasionally. Just make sure it's fine. Thanks.